Today, you're going to learn how to capitalize the first letter of a string, but you might also be thinking, how could you make a string title case? Meaning the first letter of each word is capitalized. Well, don't worry, we're going to cover that too. So first off, how can you capitalize the first letter of a string? Well, here on line 5, I initialize a function called cap first. And what it's going to do is it's going to take a string as an argument here. So I have a parameter called str. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to capitalize the first letter of the string using str.charat and then 0. And what this is going to return right here is the first character of my string. Strings have a charat method on them because strings in JavaScript are wrapped in an object. So I can access this charat method, and passing a 0 is saying, hey, I want the character of this string at index 0, which is going to be the first character of this string. And then since this returns the first character of a string and that character is going to be a string, well, I can call the .toUppercase method on that first character. So this is going to return the first character of this string, all capitalized. I still need to get the rest of the string, but I don't want the full string. I just want the string not including the first character. So then I can slice the rest of the string using the .slice method, passing in the index of 1. So that's saying I want the rest of the string starting at index 1, so skipping the first character. So that's going to give me the rest of the string here. And then all I need to do is return the first letter joined with the rest of the string. And here I use a template literal here, which is going to kind of add these together, but you could also do first letter plus sign rest of the string. That would work just fine as well. So just to show you that this works, I have a string here on line 11. It's all lowercase. And then I have a constant called uppercase, and I'm assigning that to the return value of calling my cap first function, passing in my lowercase string. And if I run my code here, you're going to see that my lowercase string, it's going to stay lowercase. So this function here, it's not going to mutate your original string that you pass in. And then my uppercase string, it does have the first letter of the string uppercase. All right. So that is how you can uppercase the first letter of a string in JavaScript. Now, how could you do the same thing, but kind of title case an entire string? So on line 18, I have a string called not title case. Very creative naming there. And then what I'm going to do is, or what I want to do is, I want to capitalize the first letter of each word of this string. So I want this capitalized, is capitalized, my capitalized, so on and so forth. Well, the way that you can do this is you can still kind of use this same function here, but you're going to have to do some work before you do that. And I'm sure there's other ways to do this, but this is a method here that makes sense to me. And I feel like it's a fairly straightforward, readable approach to do this. So here on line 21, the first step is going to be to split the string. So I'm going to get each word of this string in its own array. And this is going to allow me to do some cool stuff here in just a second. So if I console log this here, what you're going to see is my split string, it returns an array of all the words of this string because I split this string on the spaces of this string. So it's going to return everything kind of other than these spaces. All right, so it splits my string up and returns an array of just the words here split on the spaces. Now, once I have split the string, well, it's now in an array, and I have all of the words of my string in an array. So what I can do is I can use the map method and map over this array. So here I can call my split string right here, .map, and the map method, it's going to take an inline function and it's going to pass each value of my array into that inline function. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to return my value or each word of my split string here. I'm going to return that string, but passing it into my cap first method. So it's going to capitalize the first letter of that string. So here, if I console log my mapped string, what this is going to return is an array still, but now you can see every word of my array here is now capitalized because I map over this array and I pass all of my strings into my cap first method. And now the final step here is just to join your string together. And you can use the .join method on arrays to do this here in JavaScript. So on my mapped string array, I call my join method, and then I pass in an empty space. So that's just going to join these strings together and add a space between my strings. And if I console log this here, you're going to see that I now get a fully title cased string. So that is how you can capitalize the first letter of a string and make a string title case in JavaScript. If you want to know 3 other tips in JavaScript, make sure that you click the video on the screen here, and I will see you in that next one.